Hi everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Urban legends, missing heaven, hookman coming for you, missing 15 minutes. AJ wrote it, Sammy reads it, Mothman's flying at you, missing 15 minutes.
Welcome back to Mything 15 Minutes, the show where we explore history's mysteries in less time than it takes to panic when you see flashing lights in your rearview mirror. Okay, I don't think we're that fast.
Tell that to my ex-girlfriend.
Well, you know what? That's a completely different story for you. I'm Sam Rossi, reading a script by AJ Carey. Say hi, brother.
Hello, brother.
Creepy. Today we are talking about one of the most famous and earliest widely publicized UFO abduction stories in the U.S. AKA, the night a nice couple from New Hampshire went on a road trip to close encounters in under 3 hours. This is the case of Betty and Barney Hill. On the night of September 19th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were driving back to their home, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, after a vacation to Canada. Nice. Around 10:30 p.m., just south of Lancaster, they saw a bright light moving erratically in the night sky, almost as if it was following them. You know it's bad when your first thought is, that star's tailgating us. Barney eventually stopped the car in a field to get a better look through binoculars, because who didn't have some of them in their car at all times? You know, I wouldn't be surprised back in the 60s.
Back in the 60s, I had some in my Taurus's glove box.
Betty thought it was a flying saucer. Barney initially suspected a plane. That is, until it changed direction and descended toward them. Step one of a UFO encounter. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. So through his binoculars, he claimed to see a craft with rows of windows and beings inside. Frightened, they got back in the car and drove away quickly. They should never have stopped. They later reported hearing a series of beeping or buzzing noises. After that, they experienced an odd period of missing time. About 2 hours they couldn't account for. That's 2 hours, not 5 minutes. Not we lost the track of time while arguing over the radio. 2 full hours gone. Now, I've done a lot of driving, but...
We always had the reverse for me. Anytime we did the long haul to Tennessee and back to get Ez, it would always be, I swear to God, we were adding 20
fucking hours every time.
It's just like, where the hell did... It's not where did time go, it's why isn't time leaving?
Yeah. When they arrived home, the Hills noticed strange physical signs. Scuffed shoes, torn clothing, and unexplained marks on their car. Betty began having vivid dreams about being taken aboard a spaceship and examined by non-human entities. Dreams that were too detailed for comfort. You don't just dream up an alien eye exam and a star map for fun. At least normal people don't. In 1964, they underwent hypnosis with the shrink Benjamin Simon. Under hypnosis, a pet peeve of AJ's, both gave similar accounts of being taken aboard a craft, examined, and shown a star chart. Betty was the one more vocal about her experiences, and she was able to describe the star chart enough that some amateur astronomer was able to say that it was in the Zeta Reticuli star system.
Reticulum.
Thank
Or
you.
Zeta Reticuli, sorry.
Reticuli. Oddly, it's a term that a lot of people may know because it's a popular theory about where aliens come from. Skeptics argue the map is vague, and the hypnosis session may have influenced their memories. Still, the case remains one of the most infamous UFO lore. The Hills experience became a template for modern alien abduction stories. Missing time, medical experiments, telepathic communication, plus the long car ride home where you have to say, "So, what just happened?" That's driving through Pennsylvania at night.
Oh, God, it is.
Or from Buffalo to, I've never been so happy in my life to see Syracuse. Sorry. Whether you believe it was a genuine alien encounter, a case of misidentified natural phenomena, or a shared psychological experience, it's a landmark in UFO history. And a great excuse for being late to work the next day. Sorry, boss. Aliens. Okay. So, yes. Betty and Barney Hill. I did ask you to do this.
You did ask me to do this, and I kind of didn't want to because in my 20s, I was huge into the UFO scene.
Right.
Not necessarily as a believer, but as someone who just really enjoyed the pop culture appeal.
Right.
I've always had a, pop culture historian lean to what I like doing.
Yes.
It's why I do comic archivist. It's why I have several credits in anthropology and sociology from MV. I really should get back to that, now that I am legally going there. But I've always had issues with the Betty and Barney Hill thing. Or Betty and Barney Hill. I have no idea what I just said. Because initially, they didn't have anything.
They just had missing time.
They just had missing time. But given that they were driving from California to fucking Canada to Massachusetts. No. Portsmouth.
New Hampshire.
Point is, they were on a long haul drive.
Yes.
So it is very easy to miss time, especially in the 70s or in the 60s, where you may have a small clock in your car, but there is no real other means of telling time.
Which I completely agree and understand.
Like, hypothetically, they have the radio on.
Yeah.
And they hear, hey, this is KBBL, give me something stupid. It's 7:04 p.m., and then nothing. And then the next time, they turn on the radio, it says it's 9:04. You know what I mean? In their heads, that can't be right.
I can see that. I completely understand that. What about the damage to the car?
Well, hold on. I'm going to give you some more rebutting.
Okay.
In the area where they said they saw the UFO, there's also, and this was a resident of the area who published this in the 80s, I want to say, pointed out there is an aircraft control tower beacon right there on Cannon Mountain, which is right near where they were.
Right.
And from that road, it looks like they don't know, what I mean? It looks weird. It's because of how it is. It's essentially just a single, it's not a full radio tower. It's one of those stupid single post.
Oh, I hate those. They show up in freaking, what was it? Ohio,
or I think it was Ohio, because it is one of those when you're driving at night and they're on the hill.
What the hell is flashing at me?
In the middle of, there's no light pollution, so it is dark as fuck.
Yeah.
It is very easy to go, what the hell is that? I saw several UFOs while driving to Tennessee. Then I realized, right, that's a broadcast tower. Or, that's
a gas station. We found the gas station. Sam, wake up. There's a gas station.
Sam, there's a heart in the sky. We're saved. Thank you, loves.
I've never been so happy that one time, and we weren't even that low on gas.
No.
We had hit,
I think we were at a quarter of a tank.
A quarter of a tank when we started looking, and then we got to where we're down to about an eighth, and we're starting going, well, fuck, Does my roadside assistance work in Pennsylvania?
Nah, nothing beats when we really need to go potty in 3 consecutive
Oh my god, I've never been
service areas.
so annoyed in Pennsylvania.
But anyways, so if he doesn't know what he's looking at,
Yeah.
and let's be clear here, as much as people like thinking binoculars are awesome,
No, they're
at
easily...
night they're really bad. You know what I mean? And if you're literally binocularing just on a single point of light, it's not going to come off like crystal clear.
No.
Especially in the 60s, before you've got super cool telescopic, we
digital telescopic lenses.
we've mastered fucking seeing things from long distances. Okay? Now, as for the damage on their car and the scuffed shoes, that is all after the fact.
Yes.
Okay? That also isn't detailing what they did in Canada. Let's be clear, they could have had the devil's lettuce. They seemed like hip 40-year-olds. They were a mixed couple.
You know, I keep forgetting about that.
Well, that's because it is actually a very interesting thing. Some people argue, and this was in the 90s, I remember just this really stupid interview, that they were trying to hide that they tried stopping at a sundown town.
Okay.
Sundown town is, we do not have black people in our borders at sundown
Okay.
sort of town. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whitesboro actually used to be one.
Yes.
But it still is, depending on who you ask. But, like, here's where things could have happened. As in, like, something could have happened, because they did say they saw lights behind them more than just the tower. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But then again, depending on how the road actually twists, we've seen how lights kind of, tower lights can look like they're following you.
Yeah, it's creepy some nights.
But,
Most nights.
they're sleep deprived because they're already driving,
Right.
10, 12 hours.
Right.
I don't know what part of Canada they started in. They've got to go through this. They're sleep deprived. They're in a road that they probably don't drive all too frequently.
Right.
So there is easy ways to mistake that. As for, they have scuffs on their shoes. Did they? You usually don't go to a psychiatrist when it's like, that was weird. Damage to the vehicle. Could have already been there. Could have been not actually the damage they're thinking of.
Right.
Could they have hit a dude and now he's hunting them because he had a hook on his hand?
You think that they did something cool during that last summer?
They could have. But there's the only part that taking them at face value is hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
However, everything else can be explained. Like her hypnosis stuff. One, hypnosis is the bunkiest, stupidest bullshit ever.
Yes.
One, leading questions are very, very easy.
Yes.
I saw an alien. Oh, did the alien have big eyes? Sure. But one of the most fascinating things that I never even realized until writing this script, they were able to take every bit of hypnosis, of all the interview through hypnosis Betty did with Simon, the psychiatrist, and link them to Outer Limits episodes that aired a month or so before. And Betty has even now maintained, or not now, I think she's dead, but maintained throughout that she was a fan of the Outer Limits. But it was totally not the same. She even wrote a... Here's where I'm... She also became very fucking fervent in the UFO community after that.
Okay.
She went to vigils up to 1977, at least 3 times a week, according to some people, where she would go and speak at, UFO stuff. She wrote a book called The Common Sense Approach to UFOs, which had fucking bullshit stories, including her seeing a squadron of UFOs. But that's where I hate this story, because while it is the most popular and arguably is the one that kicked off modern, alien abduction stuff.
Yes.
It also comes with the added benefits of we didn't know at the time hypnosis was bunk.
Right.
It's sort of like EVPs now for ghost hunting.
Yes.
It's more like, you can turn around, and even if you're, air quote, digging up childhood trauma, people have come out and been like, I was abused when I was a child. No, you weren't. Your dad actually died. There was no way that he did this to you.
Right.
I use air quotes because, we're not getting into that can of worms, but it is one of those.
There are people out there that have misidentified what happened.
Yeah. Like, hypothetically, Betty's under hypnosis, and, her brain is just trying to collect alien stuff because that's what the psychiatrist is like. So you're saying you were abducted by aliens. In her memory, what are the things, even if it didn't happen to her, the consumption of media being where, you've got, I think I can't remember the names of the episodes now, but you have an episode of Outer Limits that came out 3 weeks earlier where people were abducted by aliens. You have an episode that aired the week previous about missing time. You have one, set in between, you saw a month ago that was, alien, touching your giblets. I don't think Outer Limits went that deep, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Testing people. So all of a sudden now your brain is conflating this memory of seeing something with a memory of seeing something.
Which makes sense to me, sadly.
But again, there are discrepancies that, taken at face value, you can't really explain outright. No. Outside of
coincidence or,
Not even coincidence. Hey, why do you have a scuff on your shoe? How many times do you actually look at your shoes?
When I wear them, every time I put them on.
Do you actually look at them every time you put them on, or do you go into autopilot to put them on and then walk out with them?
No, I look at the top of them because I usually end up with white shoes, and I hate the fact that I have white shoes.
Well, that's fair. But, but that sort of thing where, hey, when did I get paint on this shoe? I don't know. I was painting, a week ago, so clearly that's probably where I got it.
Right.
However, that doesn't mean that, last night something happened.
Right.
If he's just slipping on his shoes before leaving, or even say they stopped at a gas station between Canada and New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dark, he scuffs his shoe on the fucking curb, stepping up to go into the gas station. He's not gonna notice it.
And he's not gonna pay attention to it.
Same thing with the car, and that's one of those things where it's like, those are the softest sort of.
Yeah.
At face value, there are many explanations, and none of them involve aliens.
I understand. I get you.
I'm sorry. Every time we do these sorts of things, I'm going to be a fucking stick in the mud.
It's okay. I'm Sam Rossi.
I'm AJ Carey.
Later, y'all.
Living 15.
Keep on carrying on.
C-A-R-E-Y. Because
Carry on production.